The Vols, though, I mean, I'm assuming spirits are still high up there on Old Rocky Top, Tyler, despite that last-second loss to Arkansas, or have they done a 180 in Tennessee?
It is a very good question. It's kind of apprehensive. It's okay. The SEC, the best conference in college football, everybody loses. Ask Alabama, ask Missouri. Everybody can lose on any Saturday. I know that's a Sunday saying, but in the Southeastern Conference, when you add Texas and Oklahoma, even beforehand, anybody can be beaten. There's concerns for a couple reasons. Tennessee fans, and everybody was led to believe that with the graduation and the NFL drafted Joe Milton, five-star incumbent Nico Iamaleava would be able to wrap his arms, place his own DNA on Josh Heupel's offense. And this offense is predicated on a couple things, but the most important ingredient to this offense is tempo. Fast, 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 fast. Don't let the defense sub. Let your offense be able to dictate how the defense approaches you. You can't let them get into the different sets for whatever reason. They're down a wheel. Something's not right under the hood. The grasping of the offense perhaps has not been as thorough as many have believed. Simply put, Tennessee's offense has yet to look like the well-oiled machine we saw 2 years ago when they knocked Clemson off in the Orange Bowl. Whatever that may be, the rumors or the message board monsters, as we like to call them up here on Rocky Top, they believe Heupel's been holding back for this stretch run with Florida, Bama to come up. Kentucky looks like a better program. You better hope that's the case, because if it's not, I saw a Florida team, even though they're running two quarterbacks, whether it's Lagway or Mertz, this looks like a defense that last week might have found something to clean up UCF. I don't know if that's the case. You guys can tell me better than what I see with my own eyes. This Tennessee team, if they're holding back, if they have left things uncrossed on the itinerary, you better hope you got it figured out, because if they're not panicking, Mia, if they're not doing all those things of turning the page or completely moving on, you come out of 3 games of the SEC with a losing record, and one of them is to your old rival. Yeah, there's going to be some serious questions that we're going to have to answer, or at least ask come Monday morning.
Speaking of, Tyler, that rival side of it, what is the message that Josh Heupel has been giving this team? Because we talk about the record and how Florida's just kind of dominated this matchup for a while, especially these last 20 years. What is kind of the message there to get beyond that and not focus so much on that old record and kind of make it a new one?
Yeah, Lord, that's a good question. And really what he keeps saying, though, is this. I wasn't here for all of those. That was Fulmer. That was Dooley. That was Pruitt. That was Kiffin. What he's saying is this is a new age of Tennessee football. And it's very true. I mean, look, they haven't had a winning record 17 of the last 19, 18 of the last 20. I tend to forget, because come September, it was just a loss to Florida. That's just the way it was. And then when your schedule used to be backed up Florida, Georgia, you were already out of the conversation of Atlanta by week 2 of the SEC play, or week 5 of the season. You were 0-2. Josh Heupel, since he's got to Knoxville, has tried to make it the new Tennessee. This isn't your 1990s run the dang ball, Burt, blindside Philip Fulmer team. This is sexy new offense. This is a Ferrari. This isn't a Honda Civic. But last year, you were 10 points, some would say 8 points better than that offense that Graham Mertz led. Mia, you and I know him from his Wisconsin days, and I repeatedly on our flagship station afternoon drive said, I watched this cat in Madison. This guy, unless he's got a GPS, he can't compass his way to the end zone. And all they did was keep the ball away from Tennessee and find Ricky Pearsall in the slot every second play. Last year was an embarrassment. If you have college football playoff aspirations, I don't care about Bama. I don't care about losing divisions. I don't care about inclusions of Texas A&M and Missouri and the Oklahomas and whatever this new SEC is. Whether you like it or not, 8-game conference schedule, 9-game conference schedule. Tennessee has to go through Florida. It's the way it's going to be. It's going to be this way for the foreseeable future. It doesn't matter if it's still Billy Napier's team, if it's rumored Coach B, C, D, or E's team. Tennessee and Florida are going to have to cross paths, whether they like it or not, if you want to talk about the playoffs for meeting in Atlanta that first weekend in December.
Yeah, it does feel like Neyland Stadium, if somehow, some way Florida can find a lead in that game, it's going to feel so tight, and the 100,000 plus are going to be on pins and needles because of, like you said, the history. It's 17 out of the last 20 that Florida has won. However, the 3 that Tennessee have won as one has all been in Neyland Stadium. So it's in the fans' psyche, even if it's not in the players' psyche. But let's talk about the Tennessee quarterback, Nico Iamaleava. He ran out of bounds and time, of course, expired in the loss to Arkansas. How much frustration or pressure is on him right now?
Very much so. Because, and I'm guilty of this, last year it was very obvious Tennessee's difficulties were on the offensive side of the ball. And Joe Milton, it seemed like, was having difficulties processing plays or not making quick enough decisions. The second he is moved on from and they move and pledge their allegiance to Nico Iamaleava, that offense. Now, granted, Iowa, there's the Iowa tie again. They met last year in Orlando, the Citrus Bowl. It was moving. It was. I'm talking dip, dodge out of 5 o'clock traffic lanes. Nobody could get a hand on them. There were pressured sacks, but there was no poor decision. Last week was a poor decision. There's no time on the clock. You have no timeouts. Do or die. Yeah, sure. You might get picked off. You might overthrow your receiver. There's no excuse to run out of bounds with the ball. We talked to Nico after the game was over in Fayetteville, and he said, yeah, the ball slipped a little bit. I've gone back and I've looked at every angle. He had a grip on the ball. The point is, I'm not asking for an SEC quarterback to go out and live dangerously because you have to play smart football to win in this conference. When you have no other choices and your back's against the wall, you got to do whatever it takes to at least make an attempt to see if you can try to push this game to an extra period or at least come even. I think that was a 19-year-old redshirt freshman quarterback who will go back and look at that moment for however long he's in Knoxville and go, that can't happen again. And no matter what career, no matter what you choose for your life, we all have a bad day at the office. We all make poor decisions. I'm raising my right hand doing this hit with you guys. I make poor decisions often. That's a bad decision that he's going to look back on and go, you know what? Back in October of 2024, I can't let a Fayetteville moment happen again. And the competition, including this Saturday, gets even more difficult. And you certainly can't have them whenever everything's on the table and the poker chips are shoved into the middle.
Tyler Ivens is our guest on the Garber Auto Mall hotline. He is the afternoon host on the Sports Animal 99.1 up in Knoxville, Tennessee. I realized I didn't actually complete the loophole, Tyler. Tyler previously worked at KGYM, the gym in Cedar Rapids, when I was a sports anchor up there. That's how we know each other. I also realized that I did not plug your X account, Twitter, whatever the kids are calling it these days, at Tyler Ivens,
don't do that.
where you did tweet me last night, and I completely missed it. Thank you for the housewarming gift coming with an apple in honor of the New York Mets last night. Flipping it on over, though, to the Tennessee defense. Expectation versus reality. One thing I have heard quite frequently in this neck of the woods, Tyler, is that the Tennessee defense is not only winning the award for off the bus, no question, NFL draft prospects up and down the roster, but more than one of our colleagues here at 1010 has said to me, Dan Hicken, Jeff Prosser, well, the Jags are probably going to draft that guy because he looks like a freak athlete. He's chiseled as all get out. But now you fill in the hole here. The reality is the Tennessee defense so far has been blank.
Nope. Let's not say incomplete. They have been suspect at times. How can I give you a 100% definitive answer without talking out of both sides of my mouth? At home, they have been as good as advertised. They are Christmas morning. They are all batteries included, ready to play action figure, pew, pew, this is awesome. When they're away from Neyland Stadium, it's like the bank calling you for a fraud alert. They have at times not answered the bell. James Pierce Jr. is who you're referring to. James Pierce Jr., who, as of today, and you can look across all publications. I know everybody has their own favorite websites and their homepages they go to. He's about consensus the 12th to 15th overall selection of the draft. Last year, this man was cleaning up sacks like I clean up whenever I order Chinese food. I mean, that's my meal. I do it. The guy was a monster. But he had the assist of so many talented players who have left at the transfer portal. One in particular is south of you guys right now with Mario Cristobal's team in Miami and Tyler Barron. This year, offensive coordinators who have essentially gone to the board the week they play Tennessee, and they go, all right, boys, you see this guy wearing 27? He's not going to beat us. Anybody else can, but it's not going to be him. Pierce has seen single, double, triple teams on the line of scrimmage. They have just not allowed this guy to get comfortable. He just got his first full sack of the season last week in the loss to Arkansas. Outside of that, though, they've got some of the most experienced linebackers they've had since Spurrier and Fulmer were sideline to sideline with each other. Arian Carter, they beat out Alabama for him. I was there the day he made his announcement in the middle of the state. He committed to Tennessee. Alabama's assistant coach is still under Nick Saban. We're banging on the door. Maybe not literally. They were outside with the doors cracked wanting one last chance to chat with him before he went to the table in the gym and picked Tennessee's hat. That's how coveted he was. You have Keenan Pili, who lost himself at the beginning of the season last year to a torn pectoral in the opener against Virginia. He's 27 years age. He's got a kid and a wife. He's a transfer from BYU. He's one of the most violent hitters and tacklers I've seen in my time, from a fan to selling hot dogs to interning and now coming back full-time job. He's just, the guy goes out there. When you hear a car crash, you can turn around and look, and you know Keenan Pili's picking himself up from the pile. The defensive line, very stingy when it comes to the running game. But where the fraud comes in a touch is the secondary. Tennessee lost either to graduation or to the transfer portal themselves. They've got experience themselves from the transfer portal, but it seems like right now it hasn't been tested the most. And the reason behind that is when you've got guys who 5, 6, 7 times the blitz coming at you through the line of scrimmage, that can clean up a lot of boo-boos. That's a deodorant that can clean up a whole lot of the stink. When a quarterback's got not even the 3 Mississippi he's used to hearing in his own backyard because he's got somebody down his neck, that's going to happen. Whenever they play a complete offense, one who can come an experienced quarterback to the line of scrimmage, identify what he sees and goes, okay, this is how we'll clean it up. The problem that a lot of Tennessee teams put their oppositions in is simply this, guys. Tennessee, they're going to defer to the second half. If they make you go 3 and out, there's a good chance you're down 7-0. And if you go another 3 and out, you're down 10, at minimum 14-0. Then all of a sudden, your game plan coming out of that locker room was, here's how we're going to attack Tennessee. There's 5 minutes to go in the first quarter and you're down multiple scores. You're probably going to go to your bench and go, scrap it. This is what we're doing. And then all hell breaks loose. At that point in time, Tennessee smells blood in the water. You get to the third quarter, it's multiple scores, conservative football, lost a la Kirk Ferentz that would make him excited. Tennessee's in the locker room talking about a 10 to 14-point victory.
Do you think that this weekend, when it comes to this game, because Florida Gators obviously have struggled stopping the run, including allowing over 300 yards to the Aggies, do you think that Dylan Sampson offensively is the key to that side of the ball finding success?
Without question. If you want to talk about where the Achilles heel is for this team, it's Dylan Sampson. If they lost him for any period of time, Tennessee they'd be stuck in neutral. And that's me putting it very, very careful. I probably would say some other statements. I bet you this week, guys, I bet you they sat in that running back room. Darrell Sims sat there with his running backs, and they said, let's go back and watch the Mississippi State tape from a couple of weeks ago. And they're going to try to replicate from pulls, twists. This offensive line, if you must know really why, like here, I'll lay it out there for you. You don't even have to put on the all-22. Why does Tennessee struggle? Their tackles, who allegedly are making the largest amount of NIL money on this team behind the quarterback, they can't run block to save their lives. They really can't. The pass block is average at best as well. So, and that's not even me being hard. This is just me telling you facts about Tennessee. You're having to see Dylan Sampson, guys, get hit at the line of scrimmage, initial contact, and he's dragging 1, maybe 2 defenders on his back for 3+ after initial contact. Where Tennessee finds the most success is pretty much to your point with Dylan Sampson. They spread the offense. If they could, they'd put one wide receiver in the county west of you, and they put another receiver to the county of the east of you, and they'd open up those holes at the line of scrimmage large enough where if they miss one tackle, that's 12-15 explosive play. If Tennessee can get over the 4 explosive play mark, 4 plays of 20+ yards, Josh Heupel's career at Tennessee, he's like 17-2. So spread. Hope your tackles are getting flagged for something doofus at the line of scrimmage if they get the snap count down. And 2, a lot of the defense. I have to imagine Florida, when they do a lot of the movement at the line of scrimmage, shifting the line, linebackers showing you one thing, dropping back in coverage, Tennessee, their IQ on the field's not very high. When they want to play smash mouth football, which is not custom to what we're used to seeing at Tennessee, when they want to play smash mouth football where it's your big guy against my big guy, that's where Tennessee wins. But yet, national perspective is, Josh Heupel? Heck yeah, light the fireworks, baby. Put them up in the air, Neyland Stadium, Rocky Top. Not this year. Until the quarterback gets down, what he has is a comfortable piece of the offense. And this offensive line, left to right, can look at each other and go, push that guy 3 yards. Tennessee's not going to find success. If they do, I have a feeling we'll be talking about them hosting or at least being in this 12-team dance that kicks off in December.
All right, Tyler, we really appreciate your time and have fun Saturday night.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here. Thanks so much for checking out our 1010XL Florida Gators page. If you're looking for more Florida content, subscribe now. But if you're looking for some professional football, NFL content, head over to our 1010XL Jaguars page.